All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Nana, episode 9.
All right, we've got ourselves some spice ready to be set up for this next little bit.
And I'm very excited to get that spice because, you know, spice that I can be like, ooh, is far preferable to me than the spice where I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that's going to be
these
what
characters have suffered enough.
That's going to be what this all leads to. So we can kind of be in denial just like our Nanas in that case of like, no, it won't lead to anything crazy bad. This is just a little zest. A little bit of salt and pepper, you know?
That's right. That's right.
Nothing too crazy that's going to ruin the flavor of our steak. No, just a little
You don't need
garnish.
to think about the, just lying on the floor with a blanket by the heater, just listening to a CD on loop.
Yeah, we haven't gone full wasabi yet.
No.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
ナナの腕には赤い蓮の花のタトゥーがあって、
Yeah.
それがどんな意味を持つのか、その時は当然わかるはずなどありませんでした。
I love that we're getting these bits, but like
The
as a
narrator stuff
retrospect,
from the,
you know? Yeah.
From the future, yeah. Oh. There's some happy, nice music here.
Yeah.
That chair, nice. Just wearing the sweater too.
Yeah.
仕事行かなきゃ。今何時？
Oh shit.
どうしよう。おはよう。
Oh, I hope you didn't have the morning shift.
11時からなのに初日から遅刻だよ。
Okay, well, it only opens at 11.
店には10時頃行きゃいいんだろ。余裕じゃん。
嘘。だって目覚まし11時だ。
Did she not set her clock?
ナナ、この時計動いてないかも。
Oh, that's why people quit. It just sells junk.
冷蔵庫は使えるんだろうな。あ、ちゃんと冷えてんじゃん。
なんか冷やしたの？
ビール。
Beer. Yep.
飲む？わいじゃねえ。てめえ仕事だろ。
だって喉乾いて。
At 7 in the morning?
そうよ食ったよハンバーガー。すっげえうまかった。
Oh.
サンキュー。
食べたんだ自分だけ。
Oh my
う
god.
なって書いとけ。
You literally, yeah. Like, that is the kind of reality denial. Like,
Yeah.
可愛いパン屋さん見っけ。どれも美味しそう。迷っちゃう。
あんたってほんと鼻が利くよね。
like a dog. Yep.
河原で食べよう。気持ちよさそう。プチピクニック。
テーブル側
I
に。
just gotta say, as a person with some mild sense of nutrition, it is always depressing
To see them just
people
get bread and
literally
be
just
like,
get
this is
sugar,
breakfast.
to get sugar and bread and be like, breakfast. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's also expensive as fuck and everything. Like,
仕事なんかより好みしなきゃすぐ見つかるよ。
そうかな。世の中そんな甘いもんかな。って私が言うなって感じだけど。いらっしゃい。
Oh my god.
wow.
Wait, is she gonna... Oh no.
結構様になってんじゃん。昨日の夜庄司がうち来てさ、あんたがここで働くって聞いたから。
So she's working 2 jobs?
No, I think this is that place.
いらっしゃい。店長の水越です。
水越さん、親友の純ちゃん、美大生なの。
ナナがお世話になります。
ところでハチ、
ハチ？
この時計だけどさ。
治った？
っていうか、これ電池入れないと。
Oh my god.
あのうちにランチ行ってきたら、友達と。
いいんですか？
Wow.
目に働いてくれさえすれば、たとえ動機が不純だろうと。でもあんまり庄司に心配かけるようなことすんじゃないよ。昨日も酔っ払ってなんかぐちぐち言ってたよ。
Again.
昨日もっていつもなの？
いや。
庄司やっぱり本当私のことが嫌いなんだ。私がダメな女。
See, that's why he complains to them and not...
Not to you.
To you.
Yeah.
もっと大事にしないと、それこそ罰が当たるからね。
なの分かってる。でも大事にって一体何をどうすればいいんだろう。
Affirm the effort he's going through right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
店閉めたらなんか食べに行く？おごるよ。
本当？
何が食べたい？好き嫌いとかある？
ごめんなさい水越さん。私今日はちょっと予定がうっかりしてたわ。
デート？
いや別にそういうわけじゃ。
Whoa.
あっちだって年頃なんだし、彼氏の一人や二人いるだろ。今度店にも来るように言っといてよ。安くするからさ。
Nice, nice.
それはどうも。
Okay.
Yeah. But you didn't want to tell him that you had a boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
That's whether that's because of him or because of you. Either way.
ってこういうこと考えちゃうとこがすでに私庄司を大事にしてないんじゃん。そんなことないもん。私は庄司がいないと生きていけないもん。
No, you can live.
I mean, you're learning to become independent.
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
There's a
oh
middle
boy.
ground, Nana.
Oh my god.
Ah, it hurts.
It's so fast and frantic with its... Oh. And that was like one ring.
途中か。
It means it's off.
別に東京に出てきたからっていつでも庄司に会えるわけじゃ。
It also could just be the pacing of the anime, not wanting to have it ring for
Yeah, no, that is a good point.
the realistic amount of time.
庄司のとこに泊まればよかった。これから庄司はバイトしながら大学に通い始めて、ますます忙しくなるだろうし。
Yeah, so finding the time is going to be difficult, but cherish the time
When you have it.
rather than having it be all about.
思うようには会えなくなるのかな。やっぱり人生そう甘くはないな。
No. Hey, these are good thoughts, though.
怖いくらいにポンポンと。絶好調じゃん。
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
だけど
actually
この手に掴んでるという実感があまりない
potentially really mature.
This is a really potentially mature thing. Yeah.
だいたい私の欲しいもの。
Whoa! Whoa!
Holy
Who
shit.
are you and what have you done with our Nana?
Yeah.
可愛い服や雑貨、おしゃれな家具と部屋、どれも大事だけどなんか物足りない。
Whoa.
欲張りなのかな。
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Oh, this is so good. Introspection
I-
from Nana?
Yeah.
This must be
Don't
the
hurt
evil
yourself.
demon lord
Like,
that's like possessed her or
exactly.
something.
あ、
Hey.
おかえりハチコ。仕事どうだった？
何してるのナナ。
日曜大工。テーブルと椅子作ってんの。
Okay.
Oh, right, because her grandma put her to work in the restaurant. So, yeah, so she probably would have gotten pretty good at, like, just doing odd jobs and stuff.
行ってくるね。
シ
No,
チュ
no,
ー
we
でよ
don't
かっ
need
た
a
ら作っといた
convening
よ。
food right now.
あとサラダも。
Oh, beef, potatoes, and carrots. So classic.
あんたの鍵も無事もらえたからそこ置いといた。
Wow.
ありがと
Yeah.
なんだよ大げさなやつだな。
No, she needed this.
う。すごい完璧。サイズもこの窓辺にぴったり。買ったやつじゃこうはいかないよね。
That's the table.
でしょう。
No, wait.
気に入った。
すごい
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh, it is.
しかも近所の工事現場で廃材分けてもらったからただ同然。
Nice.
ついでに現場の若い衆に板削るの手伝わせたし。
キュー。
There
ナ
you
ナ
go.
大工さんになれるかも。かっこ
I was gonna say the only thing unrealistic here is when did she sand the lumber? Like that is so fine.
She turned on the Riz herself and
Yeah.
they helped her out.
でもバンドでギター弾いてたんでしょ。
まあね。でも私はギタリストじゃなくてボーカリストだから。
ボーカルやってた。
That's even cooler.
尊敬。
何が？
She mentioned her voice when you
Yeah.
そのセリ
came
フ
over
は
the other day.
私の歌を聴いてから言ってよね。
What? But I listen to all kinds of music.
Aww. There's something so like fulfilling and homey about Stu.
うわー、入れ墨掘るのってすっごく痛いんでしょ。すっごい。私なんかピアス開けるのさえ怖かったのに。
痛いくらいの方がやりがいあっていいじゃん。
そうか
なんかこう生きてる実感っていうか。
な。マゾ。
Maso.
ただの練。
ハスのこと？
違うって。
ハスって読むんだよそれは。
うるせえな。
だってハスだよ絶対。強情だなナナ。
てめえもな。
One of them doesn't know about flowers and stuff.
こんばんは。
ノブてめえ。
うわすっげえうまい超感激いい嫁さんになれるよナナちゃん同じナナでもナナとは大違い
そりゃどうも
あ。
それ私が作ったんだよ。
Oh.
なんだ道理でしょっぱいと
なら食うな。一体何しに来たんだよてめえはよ。
だから荷物を届けに
She's just
車で8時間もかか
overwhelmed
ったんだ
with what's going on.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
8 hours.
じゃあもう用は済んだな。だったら田舎に帰れ。
Another 8 hours back.
てめえはあのでっかい旅館の跡取り息子だろ。少しは自覚しろ。
好きで跡取りに生まれたわけじゃねえや。
いつまでもガキみたいなこと言ってんじゃねえよ。てめえは恵まれてんだよ。幸せな将来が保証されてんだよ。なんでそれをみすみす捨てる必要がある。
I love
そん
you.
なもん捨てても全然惜しかねえや。俺はギターさえ弾けりゃそれで幸せなんだよ。
Oh, really? The only thing?
もしもしやつなんとかしろよこのバカ息子。なんでこいつに私の荷物持たせてよこすんだよ。
いやごめん、だって行くって聞かねえんだもん。
だってじゃねえよ。どうすんだよ一体。
しょうがねえよもう。ノブは本気だ。そっちで一緒に新しいメンバー探してやってみたらどう？
Alright.
ノブが作った新曲。
Oh.
いい曲だぞ。
Okay.
あの曲をお前が歌ったら向かうところ敵なし。
Maybe that's the OP. No, wait. I heard that in the store.
弾いて
Yeah.
歌ってみた。
All right.
おう。ああでも俺車にアンプ積みっぱなし。こんなものが道理で重いと思った。
Alright.
あれなんだ今日の客は一人だけ。
Nice. She's in the zone.
Uh-huh.
And now you get to hear her play
Yep.
live.
一
Right.
人いりゃ十分か。こんばんは、ブラストです。東京ファーストライブにようこそ。
こんばんは。
忘れられない夜にしてあげる。
Oh, blush.
Wait, so if we've been listening to an English translation of it?
Depends. She might be just riffing right now.
Sure.
まだ歌詞のついていなかったあの曲にナナがデタラメの英語を乗せて歌う。
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Nice. And he's like, ah, shit. Here we go again.
あんな魔法を使えるのはこの世に
Fuck.
Holy shit. Ah!
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Wow.
Nana. What do you really
Wow.
want? You want to hear Nana sing?
Uh-huh.
All right, there you
Yeah,
go. You
but-
want to hear her sing a song? Yep, there it is.
I was so
Ah.
shocked that, like, so quickly she went into, like,
Full
crazy,
introspection.
full introspection, like a level of self-awareness that I didn't
I didn't know
realize
she had.
she was capable of. Yeah, and okay.
In a lot of ways, it was needed because of the pain and the struggle of doing this Tokyo life kind of hit her all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really like invaluable lesson just in general.
Sure.
Is that there's a lot of times where if your life doesn't have a lot of pain or struggle in it, you won't be forced to necessarily do a lot of introspection.
Yeah,
And that's where a lot of people who I would say literally are actively dumping their wisdom stat actually like end up is that they don't acquire the maturity to then look at their own experiences and question why.
yeah,
And yeah.
I love the idea that this came about as a result of Shoji basically being like, hey, you know, I've been living here for a year. I've grown up. I want you to grow up too. That way we can truly be together as equals.
Right.
Now that process has started, and it's probably going to take her in a different direction than necessarily with you.
Right.
But okay, that process is happening. I love it. Awesome. And we see how the Nana and Nana specifically are going to be growing closer together as a result of this.
Yep.
Cool. Like this
This is just huge progress
Yeah,
for Nana K.
right,
Yeah.
just the Nana K stuff would have like
Hachiko.
been enough for exactly, would have been enough for this episode in my mind. And then we also get the you know, Nobuo showing up and the performance and all of that stuff. Like that was incredible.
That was so good. The idea that, well, he's here.
Yeah.
It calls into light the thing that Nana K brought up of the, well, he came all this way. And it's like, well, no, you want to see the guy that would drop everything, come all this way for Nana. Well, here he is. This is the actual like wild dog. To your puppy, Nana. Like he's just like, oh, that's why I had to carry that up the stairs. And
Yeah.
it was so heavy.
Right,
What the
it was
hell?
an amplifier. And a big one. Like that's That was
why
fantastic.
did he come here personally? I don't know. Why do you think?
Yeah, exactly. And then
so funny.
And then at the end, it's just like, as far as like times to have the OP be brought up in the show, those are always fantastic times, right? Like I don't think I've ever seen that happen in an anime and have it be mid, right? Like,
yeah, not even mid. Like,
yeah,
not even okay. Just,
like it's always great.
It's always
but
fantastic.
But then we get that at the same time as also getting unique ED, which I generally very love, right? Even though the ED here is fantastic.
It's
like
primarily just a continuation of the OP.
It's a continuation of the OP, right? So we're getting OP in the episode, continuation of the OP, that is then contextually giving us new reasons to have that be there instead of the ED.
Right.
And then while we have the ED going, we have the fantastic visuals because that is the song that is actually playing, and Yasu is listening to it. And then at the end, he puts out the cigarette, and it's like, all right, well,
hell yeah,
let's do this,
Now the thing is that Yasu is not necessarily going to be even remotely involved with the actual production of the music or anything like that. He is. You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's kind of done. I think in terms of the actual like
he ended the call before the song was over.
Right. I think he's more just like, you guys need this. I'm doing my lawyer stuff here. Like, I'm not gonna be playing with y'all.
I could definitely see that being the
That's
case.
why he said you need 2 new members. So it's
right.
It's not,
100%. But I could also totally see it being something where hearing the song kind of like changed his mind. Where it's like, I try to get out and then they pull me back in. You know?
I don't think so. I think if anything, that would be more of a thing of where if we saw that he was like recording it and then we see him like do the thing and have it say stop recording, and then he like puts it into like a pocket and is like. Like that means a lot to him, but no, it's just him. Doop, like I've got to go.
Yeah. I mean that does bring a different kind of poignancy to it, where it's the as beautiful and raw and emotional as it is. He still ends the song early. I've got to go back to work. I've got to, etc. Life goes on.
Yep.
Whatever. But if it is something where he's then, he then shows up or something,
he can be involved in the band without actually producing the music. The main thing is all he needs is just to help them find like gigs and stuff. It doesn't have to be a big thing like that and have him be out of the story.
Yeah.
But okay, so Nana K had a couple big things. Now, we had the self-awareness bit, but right before that, we had something that kind of brought up the self-awareness bit a little bit.
Yep.
She dodged 2 things here. One, Mizukoshi did ask her out. Yeah. Which isn't necessarily a negative thing, but it is something that makes sense a little bit, and it's a
because he didn't know you had a boyfriend, and then
also it's dating a person who works for you potentially. That's a problem, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because this kind of is his story. It's not like there's a small power dynamic, so something needs to be acknowledged, and this is a place we won't have an HR department if there's any kind probably
of
not.
No, actually not.
HR,
literally.
You want to go to HR? Oh, yes, absolutely.
Puts on different hats. Yeah.
How can I help you? Yeah.
Right. But then also, while she was like, no, I can't really do that, she didn't say it was because she's meeting up with her
boyfriend. She specifically was about to say that and then stopped. He put 2 and 2 together, of course, but the fact that, like, Nana.
It's not that you need to say that you have a boyfriend.
No.
It's that for whatever reason you didn't want to say it.
Right, and that's
like there's so many things about like dating relationships and stuff that like everyone has their own little like boundaries and stuff like that, and it's more just important that you have boundaries.
Exactly.
But the important thing is that if you have boundaries, at least fucking stick with them.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're going to evolve and change as a person.
Yeah,
but
realize, maybe this isn't actually,
Yeah, exactly. But there's nobody here, Nana.
Right.
Who are you
Who is this
performing
for?
to?
Like,
who is this for? Yeah.
Like, it's something where with how, I feel like the bit of her introspection afterwards is like the great compensation for everything else that she's been doing in the show up until then. And that aspect was also playing a part of it, right? Like, I don't trust that she knows herself fully enough.
That's why she was
confident enough in herself.
What do I really want?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why it's needed, and that's why it's good. And so, way to go, But as far as as far as the relationship with Shoji, that's yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy. Also, we had a fun little bit from, I believe, Junko in the beginning here, where she saw the way that Nana interacted with Mizukoshi. And this is the part that, like really just pains me a little bit, is that obviously there's the Sachiko thing where she brings up, like, she's a Doronjo-sama, which is hilarious. We need a full translator's note for that.
Yeah.
But then it's the immediately upon,
like doing the little joke and all that.
yeah, and then him having a nickname for her as
Oh,
well.
right, yeah, because she doesn't know that that's something that Nana started.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
It then ends up with this thing
The
where
cute
she's
boss has a pet name for you already.
right, and also she kind of is doing the playful, like, ha ha ha, physical contact stuff.
Yeah.
Again, none of this is necessarily a problem, but it's the kind of thing of where Junko knows Nana and doesn't have the capacity to even talk to her or address this directly because it's fuck my stupid friend.
Right. It's something where learning to know how to interact with people in general can be tough.
Yeah.
Learning to know how to interact with people of the opposite sex with regards to romance can be even more tough. Learning how to interact with people of the opposite sex, specifically with nothing to do with romance, can also be a bit tough. And Nana has like no experience with that last one. Like none at all. Like every time she meets a guy, it's always is he single? Is he cute? Right? Could I be in a relationship with this person? And so,
yeah. It is funny to say, but it's the kind of thing where Shoji and Nana are young, but like this anime doesn't try to pretend that they're not. And I love it. There's so many things about the way that their relationship goes that's like, this all makes sense. They are 20 years old. Because he's 20 years old as well, right?
Right, I believe so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep. I actually I would actually be kind of excited to see if, because, with the way that the show started and like very much sending the signals of there will be pain, I was thinking that it was going to be something where when she would get here, it's like, oh no, Shoji had been cheating on her, right? Or something like that, right? But I would actually be very curious to see what would happen if it ends up being something where Nana actually cheats on him because she doesn't, like, she's so kind of oblivious in a lot of situations where she gets into a position that if she had been more introspective, she could have been like, nope, I'm going to make sure that I avoid this situation, right? So that I don't make a mistake or something like that.
Yeah, but then it gets into the definition of what do you call cheating? Like, would it be a cheat for her to go eat out with Mizukoshi?
No, I'm talking about like actually like sleeps with the guy.
Okay, so then kissing isn't cheating?
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, that would be cheating. But
that's my point. As I think that this is where we're going to get into some fun things by being the omniscient viewer, that these characters are going to figure out where their boundaries and lines are. And
because Nana doesn't really have any.
Well, not just that she doesn't have any, it's that she has a lot of sporadic ways in which she approaches her own self, to where having actually that little bit of like, oh, I need a person to kind of define myself around. And given that she's going to be roommates with, Nana, it might just end up being that, where, like, I feel like it's not really like a boundaries thing. It's like a she has to by osmosis or by who she's next to kind of define herself only like partially through her own stuff, but then also through somebody else, if that makes sense.
Yeah. She currently does not have any boundaries, but there are lines that she has even if she isn't aware of them, and she may end up finding out what they are the hard way. And up until now, she's been able to get by simply just imitating, chameleoning to the people around her.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is basically that she's adopting other people's boundaries. And she's not got no boundaries. She does have some boundaries. It's just that they're not all hers.
Right.
So she has like literal massive holes in her boundaries, if that makes sense. And
because she also adopts things from other people, it is not a stretch to imagine that they would change on a whim as she's adjusting herself to whoever she is interacting with in the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a thing about these characters that I really like, is that for the most part we can see the motivations of pretty much everybody in the anime relatively well, but they do things that are contrary to their own motivations because of emotional vulnerability, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Like,
which
it feels very realistic.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Like we do all the things that we want to do, except for when we don't because of feelings.
Right. But I think that specifically sometimes in characters you can only be so realistic before you end up making a character that's just unlikable.
Sure.
An example of this is that Nana, both Nanas in a lot of ways, have elements about them that are kind of fallbacks for the sake of physical comedy or, visual comedy
the things
or something like that.
That Nana K says about the Demon Lord or Sachiko or things like that are fun little jokes, because if you were to actually have to deal with someone like this, you would
lose my
hate
goddamn
them. You would
mind.
despise them. You'd want to get as far away from them as possible. And from a reverse side of things, Nana O, if she wasn't quite as cool, if she wasn't quite as good of a singer, right? Things like that. Then,
she's very protective and scared about her space and the way in which she kind of needs to control that space.
Right. Her abrasiveness, it kind of adds to her artiste kind of like vibe,
But yeah, that's something where she would rather quickly end up, I would say, being someone that would struggle to make friends and connections. And
not
stuff.
as quickly as Nana K.
Not as quick
by
as
a
Nana K,
long stretch, but
that's mostly just a maturity thing and just how many people I would say that Nana O has had like a long form, like standing more or less closer to equal relationships with because of the band.
Yeah, you can't have someone taking care of you in a band, right? Like,
well,
it's like
she,
I mean, well, okay,
no,
there's the whole Ren situation
thing.
That was but the getting to see things of like, oh, she knows how to put together a table because she probably had to fix some at her grandma's restaurant or something. She knows how to
made
cook
a
stew.
home-cooked meal.
Yeah.
She ended up taking on a lot of the apartment needs and duties, even though we were kind of getting the vibe that both of them early on weren't going to be able or willing to be responsible.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's more of a thing where she doesn't want to deal with that stuff rather than that she doesn't know how.
Yeah, or maybe that she sees another person nearby that could do it for her. She goes, okay, then they can do it.
Right.
But if she's the only one there, then she's like, fuck, I got to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
There is an element of avoidance, I would say, for the two of these Nanas that I actually am really interested in seeing them explore the ways in which they both avoid conflict. So
I will also say, just as a thing to throw this out there, I want to bring up the comparison from this episode and the previous episode. This episode we had Nana making a home-cooked meal, building a table, like doing all of the stuff that's like, wow, you're a badass, that's awesome. In the previous episode we had her lying on the floor listening to the music of her ex until she fell asleep.
Right.
At the very least, that's a dichotomy, which is very fun, a contradiction there. But I would not be surprised if those two had a causal link where one day she's doing that stuff and it's like, oh, she's a mess, right? And then the next day it's that was, I don't want to be like that. And so now I'll go and I'll do all of this stuff and be super productive and,
Possibly.
But it doesn't have to be, of course. But
pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I could see some potential there. I do think that there's there's an aspect of where, because most of that was done before, or all of it was done before Nobu showed up. I think the biggest kind of example of that would be that she then jumped so quickly into wanting to play the song. Versus the song being more of a reminder that it's actually Ren playing the guitar during.
I'm gonna overwrite these feelings and be like, Yeah, this is her rebound,
The band being played at all.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The before he showed up, I was getting the vibe with the responsibility stuff more so that she had kind of maybe needed an opportunity to showcase that she could be kind of helpful in the dynamic because of Nana kind of not making a big fuss about the sleeping in the middle of the floor and everything, but getting her
Okay.
a burger and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay. I want to take my kind of I'm
Sure.
going to assert a little bit of my power here."
Yeah,
and
pay her back, yeah.
Yeah. And not just pay her back, but also be like, "Hey, I'm reliable. Like, look at what I can do."
Yeah, yeah.
And the idea that she probably came up with doing one of these first, like, "Oh,
Sure.
I need to make dinner."
I'll make some stew.
Or,
oh, wait,
like,
we
I
don't
need
have
to-
a place to eat it.
Or like, I'm going to make dinner. Oh, what do we have? Well, we have the bread. Well, what goes well with bread? Stew. Oh, stew. We have a thing to actually make the stew on. Great, because we have the gas and the stove on and stuff. Okay, cool. But that means we'll need like bowls and stuff, and that's hot. So we need a table to put it on. Okay, cool. I'll build a table here. And then she
Right.
spends the whole day doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's how some people think. But I like the idea that all these things are synergized rather
Oh, yeah.
well together.
Even separate from the narrative angle of Nana specifically as a character, I love the attention to detail that is being put into this with regards to these people are now living on their own.
Right.
The just things that you have to deal with, right? Like that's
I think the nostalgic factor that's definitely involved in this, because I would say that there's a lot of things with anime that are being told to a more mature, older audience. There's usually some kind of nostalgic factor with regards to the characters usually being kids, or at least in this case, young adults.
Right.
And that's kind of to me, at least as a 32-year-old, I see this as being like a slightly nostalgic thing of being like, oh yeah,
Sure.
I remember my first apartment. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember having my first roommate. Or oh yeah, I remember that feeling of being like, okay, cool, we got to cook a meal. Do I
Right.
cook for everybody, or do I like
Yeah.
try and like set up ingredients and stuff like this? Oh no, this could be a gift thing for everybody. And
and
those kinds of thoughts
the joy of actually having a home cooked meal rather than a burger that you just get out someplace, right?
Ooh.
Like
I have a thing
all of
about
those
the burger when you're done. Yeah.
all of those details just helped make this like immersive for me, because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, these people are truly starting out,
Right. Have you ever noticed
Mm-hmm.
that? I kind of commented a bit judgingly about the going to a bakery for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
that can be a good substitute. But I was wanting to make a point of, I think Nana K might have a little bit of irregularity with eating. Now, I would say a lot of stories and a lot of things have this bad trope, and it's usually in live action that's an issue, that you don't show the characters eating or taking a shit or stuff like that, because it's just boring. You have to have every scene have a point to it.
Right.
But this episode focused on food quite a bit. It bookended the actual episode with food being a focus of it. Nana doesn't just eat a lot when it's nighttime. She eats a worrying amount to her friends. Like, they're all like, whoa, like, why are you eating so much? And what I have seen sometimes as patterns is where people who are going through a lot of stress, or who are transitioning into a new kind of life situation and stuff, they'll end up not eating until dinner. They'll just...
Sure. Well, and at the very least, because of Nana's forgetfulness. She doesn't think about the fact that, I don't have breakfast for tomorrow. So when she brought the burger home for Nana, and then it's like, okay, cool, she eats it, and then she wakes up and she's like, oh shit, you ate the burger. I don't have anything to eat this morning. And then, hey, yeah, she's then eating a lot, at the end of the day.
Right. And that's something that I think that's there's a couple things with this. Personally, I think that if you're not taking care of your basic needs, and I mean like
physical,
food, physical needs, like you're not drinking water, you're not eating food and stuff
Thanks
like that.
for the reminder.
There's an element of this that is tied up. It is not necessarily this, so please just not trying to go specifically into this. So it's a mild trigger warning here a little bit, but the idea that it's a form of neglect.
Yeah.
And self-neglect, not self-harm necessarily,
right.
just the idea of self-neglect.
Well, and
that can mean a lot for people that aren't necessarily good at
taking care of themselves
in relationships, you could then see the crossover there.
And the like Shoji's comment of like, hey, you'll get fat. That could just be the time of the series and when it came out, and it's sort of just like a random comment.
Lazy dialogue,
yeah. But I would not be surprised, like that would feel thematically relevant if they went into as Nana is learning to take care of herself, feeding herself is one aspect of that, right?
Yes.
And especially with how neurotic Nana is, if she has any kind of like specific relationship dynamic with how she like with food, then I could definitely see that like coming up.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring it up in that stew is like one of the best meals for leftovers, and it's such a great thing to have because you can make a lot of it and it's going to stay good for forever.
Oh yeah, and it's relatively easy to make.
And it's also just warm for their cold apartment. But the idea that this was something that Nana is doing, and it's such a like a sweet thing in that regard. But I'm going to be counting the episodes from here on out to when our Nana like makes anything in the apartment.
Oh sure.
I am looking for ways in which the characters can express their independency or their dependency.
Yes.
And this could be one where she's like, oh, Nana, cooks? Oh, well, then maybe I don't have to cook,
Right. And I mean...
We'll see.
When they get into a relationship, that could potentially make for a very fun dynamic. If it's the Nana K is like, bringing home the bacon, and then Nana O is like... the homemaker that also does crazy band stuff.
Everybody has their ways in which they are more responsible or more competent.
Right, and this is one example that is a benefit, a happy little benefit from the shitty upbringing that she had, where it's she did work at a restaurant for a long time.
That's
so
true.
Making some stew, something that's easy, that keeps and all of that stuff. I imagine that it's the young Nana O maybe didn't have someone making food for her and had to figure something out on her own,
Yep.
But
all right, but yeah, great episode, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out my Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.